What you're about to hear might offend your inner macho man. If you think real men don't talk about mental health, this show isn't for you. For everybody else, welcome home.
Welcome back to the Jones Effect Podcast. This is episode 3. In this episode, we will be covering friendships and brotherhood. See, as men, we often find it easy to carry the weight of the world than to pick up the phone and call a friend. Friendships among men can fade as careers. Fatherhood and marriages take center stage. But real brotherhood is more than just good times. It's accountability, it's trust, it's knowing someone has your back when life gets a little heavy. So, what we're going to cover is the friendships that you can build with men, the communication that you have with the men in your life, and the importance of both of those things as you progress in life, right? So, my guest today is a cool dude. Alright, he's a father, a friend, a brother, and he's great in all of those areas because I know him personally. Without further ado, let's bring Jack in.
What's up? How y'all doing?
What's up, bro?
Man, chillin'. I ain't on that, same old stuff, staying out the way.
Alright. So look, man, hey, I'm glad you're here, man. I want you to, get comfortable. Feel like you can share whatever you want to share. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be important for the people that listen to this podcast to hear some of the knowledge and some of the information that you got, and to identify with some of the struggles or battles that you had, which helped you become the man that you are today, the father that you are today, the friend you are today. So if you could give us some background, let us know who is Jack.
Man, I'm from Alabama, man. I come from a 2-parent home. It was something that I didn't value as much growing up, coming from a 2-parent home in life, because I just felt like it was normal because it was my reality. It was like, and as I got older, I began to understand that I was very lucky to have a 2-parent household, to have a man in the house, and have a mother that didn't play no games. And like early in my childhood, like it was all good. Like I've never not had a day of coming home and wondering if the lights was gonna be on or if we was gonna eat or nothing like that. Like I knew that my dad was gonna be home at 3:30. I knew my mom was gonna be there. I just knew that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was things that I took for granted that kind of like, now looking back on it, I can say like, okay, those things, that was my foundation, and my foundation was strong. Like, and I always looked at other people's lives like, I had a lot of friends that could be out all night and do things that I wasn't able to do. And I'd be like, dang, like, man, like, dang, I felt lame. Like, I felt, like, like
left out. You
just left out. Like, so, and over time, like, in middle school, I got in trouble a lot. I got kicked out of school. I gave my mama them problems, like, for real, like, and I ain't never been slow or, like, I just never applied myself with a lot of things in life. Like, I just always knew how to do the bare minimum to get by. Like, it was never like, I was always finessing, like, just like, man, I know how to, I'm smarter than them. Like, that's just how I always felt with people. And sometimes that was my downfall with people. But over time, middle school, got kicked out. By the time I got to high school, I was more, it was cooler for me. Like, I had calmed down, I wasn't in trouble. Like, I was going home, playing football, doing whatever I needed to do. High school, I really didn't have any direction of what I was going to do. Me and my homeboy used to smoke all the time and sit around, and he'll talk about the Navy. And I'd be like, man, I ain't going to fight no war or nothing like that. And he like, man, we need to go, man. We got to get out of Alabama. So eventually, one day I'm in this class, and there was this teacher that took a liking to me. I was in 12th grade. She took a liking to me, and she pulled me into her advanced class. And I was in there with the people that's, the valedictorian and all those type people, the top people in the class. And I was the top person in that class, though. I came in that class and was the top person. And it came to a point where we was getting ready to graduate. And she asked everybody in the room what they was going to do after school. And I didn't have a plan. I ain't have nothing going on. Like, I ain't have nothing. Like, I couldn't man, I ain't think about no college or nothing. I wasn't thinking about none of that. So, but in that moment, I wanted to impress her though. Like, I wanted to make her feel like that I was gonna be okay. So when it came around to me, first thing came in my head was I've been smoking my homeboy. All he talked about is the Navy. So I said, I'm going to Navy. And then everybody in the class bust out laughing. You know, it was just like an experience. And then like the shit, like at first they laughed and it was kind of like, all right. I'm like, but nah, they laughing at me. They like, oh no, you ain't gonna be able to do that. You play too much. See, all throughout school I played. Like I joke and like a lot of people see my serious demeanor, how I look, and they don't know that I really like to play like that, like all day. And it's just been something in me. It's like the inner child in me. It never went away. So, and I like to agitate people. Me personally, I just do it just because I can. But I told her that. She was like, oh, she calmed them down. She was like, oh, Mr. Jackson, I believe that you can do it. You know, that day I left school and that shit was just on my mind the entire day. So I was like, you know, I told my mom and I was like, I want to go in the Navy. So I went talked to a recruiter. You know what I'm saying? I stopped smoking weed and I went into the ASVAB. I passed it, of course. And I went up to MELPS, you know what I'm saying? And when I went to MELPS, I guess it was kind of destined for me to leave because the person, I replaced somebody that popped on a piss test or whatever. And he told me that I went like October 16th. He told me I could leave October 23rd the next week. The whole time,
oh, that's crazy.
As we leaving, like my heart beating fast driving back, you know what I'm saying, to Gaston. And I'm like, man, I'm thinking to myself like, dang, like, man, I gotta tell my mom and my dad I'm about to leave. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all this stuff just coming over my mind. Now, I didn't graduate by this time, though. And I also didn't graduate. Like, I walked the stage, but, you know, I ain't get my diploma. I had to go back for summer school and take the math class, and then I passed.
Because you just weren't taking it serious.
I wasn't taking it serious. Like, so, you know, but I had to go back. I did the summer school, and I did that. When I got back, you know, my mom was at church or whatever, and the church was down the street from the house. So I pulled up at the church. The dude dropped me off at the church, and I came in there. And I was kind of like scared to tell my mama, like, I was like, Mom, I'm about to leave next week. So, but when I told her, like, I'll never forget how she looked, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was like a moment, like, I was like, damn, like, she really proud of me. Like, it felt surreal almost, you know what I'm saying? So she hugged me tight, and she was like, I'm proud of you. I'm proud. Hold on.
You good?
Shit. All right, cool. She told me she was proud of me and shit, and I was like, yeah, like it felt like I could do anything in that moment. So I was like, yeah, all right, cool. My daddy told me, he was proud of me. I'm like, all right, cool. I eventually went off, you know, and it was the first time me being out in the world by myself.
Right.
And I missed them a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, I cried a lot. Like, my mom held my hand for the first 2 years of me being in the military. Like, I call her all the time. I call her crying. I'm like 19 years old. I'm not really understanding the political aspect of life. Like, you know, I didn't understand other races of people. I only understood my people. Like, you know, so when I got out into the world, it was very confusing for me. Like, it was like a culture shock for me. Like, that, damn, like, this is how this is. Like this how these people are. Like, or this is how this is. And I ain't really know, but my foundation that I had, I was already built to be a man, though. Like, my father, my mother, his brothers, like, I ain't had no crazy childhood. Like, my uncles took me places. I had an uncle that was a player. I had an uncle that was a pastor. I had an uncle that did drugs. I got uncles that gang bang. It came from big family. So I just seen everything. So I got to pick the type of man I wanted to be. And like my aunt told me before I went in the military, you're going to meet a lot of people and they're going to put a lot of things on the table. And the trick is to pick up as much good things as you can from people as you run across from them. You can build yourself, like, to be better every day. You're gonna run into somebody that does something better than you, but you have to be able to be humble enough to see their light and be able to take some of it. And it might sound like you being like you jocking or whatever, but you're not, though, because you're building it and taking it your own and making it your own. And that's how you build your character over time. Like, my dad showed me things. My dad was married to my mom until my mom passed away next to him. You know what I'm saying? So I seen that. Like, you know, people always ask me, like, Jay, how you just get married? Like, man, because I really do want that. But hey, at the same time, though, sometimes I know I got my ways. So
right. That's real.
all these different events in my life of having these people be around me built me to be how I am. Like I got a brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just me and my brother. My mom always, me and my brother get into it sometimes. My brother is probably the only person in this world that know how to get under my skin. Like, he really know how to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I know how to do it to him too. But over time, you know, we've had a bond that has showed us that life is beautiful as long as you hold a relationship with your sibling. Like, your sibling is an extension of your parents. Like, when my mom passed, like, my brother was there for me, I was there for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had other brothers that's not from my mother that was there for me. Like, and without those people in my corner, like, you know, I probably could have crashed. And I credit a lot of them for treating me the same way after she passed. Like, still coming to me, joking at me. Like, letting me know that, like, hey, man, life going on. You ain't got to necessarily, I know you know, but life goes on. And without those brothers in my life that I built, like, and then sometimes we've had our falling out, even me and you.
For sure.
We didn't bump heads and it got heated and one just left, one went the other way. And then we was able to still sit and have a conversation like, hey, I know when I said, I said and told you straight up, like, hey, I know what I said to get under your skin. I knew what I was saying. I knew what I was doing.
Right. That's
but
right.
You said something that made me feel like I needed to do that to you.
For sure. That's true.
And you know, and after that, it's dust off, and it ain't been it's not an issue. That's like, real. But I feel like sometimes it's mean like it's a lot of things going on. We have weight on our shoulders. You know, we got the kids we gotta take care of. We gotta take care of the girl, the wife, or whatever you got going on. You got work. Like, you know, you got all these things put on you, and then you're not able to sit and tell somebody like, damn, bro, man, I'm tired, man. I just...
For sure.
Man, like, because now you feel like you're weak and vulnerable, but see, being vulnerable does not make you weak. Like, it opens you up. Like, you know, crying is a release of the soul, like I say. Like, I always feel better when I cry. Like, I just do.
So that's one of the things I want to touch on, because there was just a moment, and if you don't mind me just tapping into it, there's a moment right then when your emotions gave the feeling something that you're dealing with. You began to cry just recently. So although we're supposed to be talking about brotherhood, I know the background to it. So we're just gonna address that. We're gonna segue into that instead of brotherhood, because it's something, and this is how you know it's real. This is real. This is actually what it's made for. This right here, this moment right here. So just follow me on this. It's something that we both share, and the more you every time you get into that conversation, you are battling with your emotions when talking about it or when thinking about it. And that very thing is the loss of your mother. That conversation and that came out 20 times already. So that's a for sure sign that says, hey, listen, this is an area that is very, very sensitive to me, very, very touchy to me, very, very private. This is very, very important to me, and that's what we share together. And when you lost your mother, you know, I don't know if I was one of the first ones, but I definitely was one of the people that came to you individually, just you and I, to begin the process of some type of healing, to let you know that you're not by yourself, to let you know what I'm saying, you're about to go through a lot of different emotions. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to know what to do with it. And there's nothing I can tell you that's going to help that. What I can tell you is that I'm right here with you. And if you need anything from me, you can call me. If you need me to slide on you, anything. Because I know at least that you'll have somebody right there with you. And having somebody there with you do calm the storm some.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? So if you want to just kind of tap into how have you been able to deal and still be productive and still be Jack, battling what you're battling when it comes to the loss of your mother?
It's crazy to say this, but like early childhood memories with my mom, like it's never been a moment that she ain't been in my ear. Like she was always a proactive parent. Like she always was in my ear giving me game, like always telling me things. So over time, when I was growing up, my whole childhood, she would always say, one day I ain't gonna be here. And these people ain't gonna never be able to tell you that I ain't show you shit. Like, that was her saying to me. She used to always say it to me. She'd pull me to the side, had these conversations with me, even like at an early age. I'm talking about just talking to me, telling me things like, hey, I ain't gonna be here always. Like, you gotta take care of your dad, you gotta take care of your brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? You different. She would always tell me that you different. Like, you very strong, opinionated, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a follower. I mean, you're a leader, not a follower. Like, you know what I'm saying? She like, it's okay to follow sometimes, but understand that you will always be a leader. So over time, those sayings helped me get through everything that when it kind of like crumbled for me. Like, even when I was going through the death of my mother, I was going through the break of my marriage. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I had to deal with both of those things at the same time.
Right.
At the same time. And I've watched over time, me personally, I'm a people watcher. I don't know if a lot of people know that about me, but I just love watching people. Like, I just like watching what they do. Like, you know what I'm saying? When they think ain't nobody looking. So over time of watching people, I've watched people crash. I've watched people succeed. I've watched people do certain things that made me be like, I'm not doing that. Or I've watched people do things where like, I'm going to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's for me. So seeing people go through the death of their mom, like, it never really hit me like that until I lost mine. Like, it didn't hit me until I lost mine.
Because of your connection.
Because of my connection. Like, I couldn't really feel nobody else's connection. Like, I just was like oblivious to it. I never used to wake up with no bad days, or I wake up playing and laughing and chilling, like, you know. But see, now, over the time of like, my mom would call me every morning. Like, when I had to take care of the kids by myself, she would call me every morning checking on me. But she always been like that. She'll blow my phone up. That's just what she do. But having, in the morning time, I started crying every morning. Like, in the first beginning stages of it, for the first 2.5, 3 years, I would cry in the morning time. Like, and then I started feeling better doing it, and I would look at myself in the mirror. I started laughing at myself. And then I think a good thing. But it was a release that was definitely needed, and it helped me over time be able to go to work. It was a lot of days I would come to work. I know y'all see me still playing and shit, but right before I come in there, just got finished crying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just was breaking down before I got there.
Oh no, I
really in the car, like crying, smoking, crying, like, all right. Then before I get out the car, it's tighten up. Then I walk in, and my relief was really just messing with y'all. Like, I never forget how I got treated when I walked in there the next morning after my mom died. Like, it was like Alabama had lost. I'll never forget it. Like, it was just like Alabama lost. So
that's the team. Just in case y'all don't know, he's a heavy Alabama fan.
Heavy Alabama fan. Like, so now I done bet this money. Like, I'm down $500. My mama done died. It's like, damn. Like, I'm like, damn, I really done crapped out today. Like, this is like a shitty day. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, and when I came in though, the best thing that could have happened is that Alabama lost though, because everybody in the room didn't know that my mother had died. I hadn't posted nothing about it. So they're not really from where I'm from. So everybody in the room, they coming at me. They don't know.
That's the regular.
They thinking I'm sad about Alabama.
Yeah,
that's what they regularly do.
Mm-hmm.
They chastising me. But at the same time, it's making me feel good though. It's like, damn, they don't even know. Like, they treat me like, because everybody else was giving me sympathy that I didn't want.
Mm-hmm.
They was, I got condolences this, condolences that. It was constantly, when I opened my phone, it was a constant reminder every second that my mom just passed. But when I came into that room, for that hour that I let it just sit, I let it sit for an hour before I said anything about it. I let it sit because I was just like, damn, they making me, these folks making me feel better.
Yeah,
like,
and it's regular.
It's regular. Like, they really, like, they don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here, and they just heard, and mostly, I want to say it was some people in there that heard the last conversation I had with my mama right in there. I had just bought a ticket to go see her. She died before I could get there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, and over time, like, I'm really optimistic about life. Like, you know, I never really look at the glass as half empty. It's always half full to me. If it's a little bit in there, I can make it shake. You know what I'm saying? I can quench my thirst. So when this happened to me, and you came and had the conversation with me, I wasn't so emotional enough to say, man, this nigga ain't talking about shit. Da 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 da. I listened to what you had to say, and you told me, man, I ain't really have a relationship with my mom.
Facts.
And I said to myself, I said, well, damn, if he ain't had no relationship with his mom, and I had a 35-year relationship with mine, did I really lose? Like, this is the natural order. Like, I'm supposed to bury my mom, whether it's early or later.
Yeah. Facts.
Like, so what am I tripping about? I miss her. Well, I got to keep going, because if I don't keep going, I'm going to fall off.
Yeah.
And then that ain't what she want. That ain't what she looking at. Like, I got to go do some more stuff. So I started doing more stuff. Like,
And you got people that look at you the way you look at your mama.
Yeah, exactly.
Your kids look at you the way you look at your mama.
They look at me like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so we always got to be mindful, and I speak about perspective so much because that's so important. How you look at things, a lot of times, determine how you make decisions. You see, so once enough time went by that allowed you to actually process what happened in full, not just processing how you feel, but what is it connected to? What could you do? What are some of the things you could do? How can you handle it in different ways? You know, instead of just feeling and then acting. Like we touched on a little bit of that last episode as well when we were speaking about fatherhood. We need to, in order for us to ever get through anything, we need to allow enough time for us to process what we need to do to get over it, to get through it, to build it, to create it, to have it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta allow enough time. And a lot of times when we don't, that's when we don't get the results we want.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's powerful for you to be able to describe and share with us those moments that you was battling that thing and how you began to overcome the feeling that you had where you felt like you lost something and you began to just appreciate the time you did have.
That's all I could think about. Like, I was like, man, my mom been in my ear, man. I used to always tell her I was grown. Like, I'm grown. And it's like, I'm like, damn, nigga, you were asking for this? You was asking her to be quiet. You were asking her to stop calling your phone sometimes and blowing you up. And now you got it. See, all those thoughts come in your head. Right. All those thoughts coming when I didn't answer. Right. Or all those thoughts when I didn't do this. But I always held it down for my mom. Anything she wanted. Like, you know what I'm saying? She asked me for something. She'll make sure, oh, it's your birthday. You got to get me something on your birthday. That's just the type of mom she was, you know. Like, very vocal, you know. And I love her for it. And it's crazy because when I was younger, I used to always wonder, like, dang, man, how my dad deal with my mama? Like, my mama crazy. Like, she just be talking crazy. Like, really talking crazy. Like, how you deal with it? But he's so cool and calm. Like, it was like, okay, this is like they different.
Yin and yang.
They yin and yang, but I've never, they was definitely a united front against me and my brother every time. I've never seen them, I never grew up in a house with them arguing. Right. That's just me. I can't really, I didn't see my dad to be like, all right, Lily, chill out. But I ain't never really just seen no arguing or no toxic type environment. Like, I watched my daddy do things for Valentine's. I watched my mama make sure, and she'll make sure my daddy straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it just be like, okay, this is what this was about. This is what a partnership is about. Like, you know, my mom had me washing dishes, cleaning clothes, washing. Like, she taught me all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know, and people used to be like, Lily, why you got them boys doing all that? But now, as a grown man, I feel superior than a lot of men, though, because a lot of men don't know how to take care of themselves. They waiting for a woman to do it. That's why they always want to live in a house with a woman.
That's true.
Like, sometimes I feel like as a man, you have to find yourself. Like, you're always constantly around other males, rubbing shoulders and thinking that this man has it in order because of some financial gain, but his morals ain't intact. His principles ain't intact. Those things are way more valuable as a man than having money. And people don't understand it, though. They so caught up in the what something look like or what you got. Like, nah, see, some of the things that I have, somebody could never buy.
Absolutely. You can't go get this from the store. You can't
can't.
order this off Amazon.
You can't order this. This didn't come like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? This was really handmade and sculpted. Like, it's just so many memories that vividly come on my mind. That's why I really try to, like, show up for people that I really rock with. Like, I really try my best to show up for them. Just to show up for them, even if it ain't that much.
Oh, yeah.
To acknowledge them. Because I ain't do all this by myself. I ain't the man I am today.
Just by yourself.
Just by myself, no.
And I think the examples that you were able to have in your life assisted that a lot, where you can see the value in relationships that you have with people, the importance of what you're doing, your position for them, and them knowing the show up, as we call it. You know what I'm saying? I'm big on showing up for the people I care about, and I hope the people that's in my environment knows that about me. You know, it's very, very important for you to show up for people. Show up for your people. Show up for your people, because you just don't know what your people going through. You don't know what your show up could do for them moving forward. You just don't know. Just like in this very moment, you coming here and taking my vision serious enough to be a part of it. You know, like that says a lot. That says a lot about how you view our friendship, our brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? It says a lot about who you are as a person. It also matches the history that we have, you know, because some people can do some things that they normally don't do. You know, good or bad for that matter.
Yeah, you always pitch the podcast thing to me, like I said, like, and I ain't really, I know people probably see me or follow me on Instagram, they see me playing and joking all day, talking trash or whatever. I like to do that, but I really get off of it after that. But I really don't like coming out, because sometimes so many people, opinions that don't matter still can bother you. So you have to be able to pull yourself away sometimes. And I don't want people to be thinking that they so connected to me, because a lot of them is not really good enough to be connected to me. It's a lot of it's just a lot of trash on the internet sometimes. Like, you know, I like to look at it. I ain't gonna lie, I like to look at trash too, just like anybody else. I'm into it too. Yeah. But I also know that sometimes I have to clean around my brain to make sure that I'm thinking the right way. Because a lot of other people's thoughts can shape how you do things and shape how you act. And I don't really want to be acting, I like to call it lame, or doing lame stuff. Like, it might be some people out there think I did some lame stuff too much. But if I did though, you probably deserve it. So I ain't gonna be mad. I don't care.
Hey, so he retired for real. He told you he loved trolling too. He already told you that.
I'm just saying though. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
No. That's real. But the truth is, you know, when you could learn you so well that you take on the responsibilities that come with it, I think that's when you can be the best friend, the best brother, the best father.
Because sometimes I need a break from these people that I'm friends with.
Absolutely.
And it ain't even, because sometimes being in a space, just taking for instance, like, I worked in a bar shop for 9 years around some great guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own ways. It's like we was living in a damn dorm room. Like, you know, an open bay dorm room.
We definitely spent more time in that than we did at home.
I spent more time with these guys than I'm really spending with my family for real. So it's like, you're going to have some fallouts. You're going to have some bumping some heads. You know, it's going to be some little petty things. But in the end of the day, I did not leave with a bad relationship with nobody in that spot. I don't feel no way about nobody. I still love all them. I still communicate with them when I see them. It ain't no problems. And that's how you're supposed to maintain brotherhood. Because it's going to be some times we're going to step on each other's toes. It's going to be some times I'm going to say something that rub you the wrong way. Like, but it does not have to result in violence. It doesn't. If we can have a sit down and talk when it's cooler heads.
We can definitely have a civil conversation.
Yeah, we can have a civil conversation, because, you know, hey, sometimes, you know,
we're not gonna see eye to eye though.
Yeah, we're not.
That's the man in us anyway. The man. I'm not here to be your best friend in every conversation. I ain't trying to hear half yourself. Ain't trying to hear in this moment when we get into it anyway.
If you say something dumb, I'm gonna tell you. No, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you know,
but if you moving, call me. I'm gonna help you come move your stuff, bro.
Yeah, I help you.
You feel me? I got you. Your daughter need her hair braided. If I know somebody, my wife knows somebody, we got you. You know, anything. And that's one of the things we can highlight even more too, is how to still be there for a friend. You know what I'm saying? Why does time with men changes their relationship so much so where they can't even rely on one another no more? And I'm saying some of the closest relationships men have sometimes in time just fade away. It's almost like we're not as connected just because of whatever the reasons are, you know. And me personally, if I don't talk to you every day, that doesn't change my relationship, our friendship, in my opinion. Our friendship is exactly what it is.
I don't want to talk to you every day.
Yeah, I'm just saying, or even being around, whatever it is. Say, for instance, you move. Like, you move back to Alabama. All right. You go to Alabama, you take care of your business. Every single time I talk to you, if it's 6 months later, a year later, guess what? It's going to be just like we was just together the day before, or like it was when you was here.
That's how it's supposed to be. But, you know, a lot of people build dependent relationships upon people, like to where they can't think for themselves, and they like to just be around somebody because no matter what nobody say, they can always tell you that they don't care about what people think. Majority of people care about what people think. They care. They thinking about it. They worrying about what somebody else think. Like, they show it. They show it too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because they won't even go places by themselves. Like, how you can't pull up somewhere by yourself? Like, me, I'm known for it. I love pulling up places by myself because I get a different feel when I'm by myself. It's easier to hunt when I'm by myself. And, like, what I mean by hunting is, like, you know, sometimes talking to women is easier by myself because I don't got a wingman to mess it up.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do got the right wingman, I know I'm cool, but sometimes, you know, people make things awkward. Other people do. You might be getting more attention than this person. And now this person acting weird. Now the time, y'all can't have a good time.
That's true. And so, through my experience, I always use situations to tell me the truth about a person. So I don't do a whole lot of judging. I don't do a whole lot of judging at all. I allow the situations to take place, and then I analyze the results in that circumstance, and then I make my decisions from there. My brother told me a long time ago, and it didn't make sense to me until I became much older. He told me, you got to keep a good dude good. You know what I'm saying? So when I learned what that meant, or what it meant to me, is you got to keep people in the place where they can be as productive as possible for you. You can't expect them to do something that they just don't do. So you giving an example, having a wingman or having a dude with you and them acting awkward, I think that the responsibility on average to maintain a good situation for you to just, if he's the type where he goes to picnics and eat barbecue, then you take him to the picnics and eat barbecue. You don't take him and put him in a different element. You don't take him, you know what I'm saying? And that's what that is. But I think what's a little bit more important, a lot of times dudes be crying out for help and don't even be knowing that they, you know, that's what's going on. It be things that they battling with for real, that they don't even pay no attention to. So it comes off as weird in certain situations. That's some of the stuff protruding or coming out in some sort of way. You ain't never been with around a bunch of women and you got the one dude that is getting into it with the women.
Yeah.
All right. So when it's the setting, it's like, dang, dude tripping. Why dude acting like that? Like, he ain't got to do all that. Sometimes you might get into it with him, whatever the case may be. But a lot of times, you just don't even know what his history has been. His history, this could be something that he already been battling with, not just getting into it, but his outlook on women. So now your friendship, you know, you got to know what type of friend who you dealing with. You got to know what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So you can make your adjustments, and you just don't know where you can possibly help him at when you know that type of stuff. Because that's what I really want to touch on. I want to touch on when you are a friend. What are some of the things that you are willing to do to keep your friend a good friend as a person and for you? You know what I'm saying? Because you do bump into situations when you're dealing with people that does things that changes your friendship and it's not repairable. So I would say, you know, like what is some of the things that you do? Could you think of anything that you like? Personally, I'm saying, like, if you had a friend that did whatever and you stop messing with them, why you stop messing with them, and what could have been done differently for it not to be in that way?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not very when somebody like when the betrayal is like, I feel like when it was unnecessary, like I feel like I just kind of like move it out my life. It ain't saying that I have any ill feelings toward the person or that I hate them. I still wish them the best, but I also understand I don't really like anything the way you're trying to tear me down on the outside. So if you start trying to tear down anything that I built, or you tearing down my reputation, or you making it like I'm something that I'm not, and you know what it is, I can't be around you now because I feel like you don't like me. You love me, but you don't like me. You love things about me. You probably might like my charisma. You might like how I talk. You might like certain things, you know. I might be somewhat of a father figure to you. Like, and it might sound crazy to say that, but like I know that a lot of males lack father figures. So you run through life trying to attract other males. Like, even as males, you attract other males. Like, it ain't on no homophobic type thing, but you attract males. Mm-hmm. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. Women attract other females. Like, they run in packs. Like, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I find myself, I ain't gonna say that I'm a lone wolf, but I don't mind being a lone wolf. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind it. Mm-hmm. But I do have people that I do trust. But sometimes in those situations when people do things that I feel like, man, ain't no repair. How can I can't even tell you nothing simple no more. Without you running and running your mouth. Like, why you do that to me? Like, I guess it bothers my soul. Like, because it'd be like, I really be trying to be genuine. Like, I ain't never not try to be genuine with nobody I rock with.
You are so
really genuine. I ain't trying to flick. Now, I know people think I talk a lot of trash, but I never try to flex on you or do nothing. Now, if it's just naturally happening, it's just naturally happening. Yeah. But I'm not coming trying to like flex off with what? I feel like we cool. I feel like I see you eye to eye. I respect you as a man. I respect your manhood. Like, I ain't trying to make you feel little in front of nobody. Yeah. Man, we talking trash and I having to win don't feel no way. But
see, sometimes that comes off like that though. Cause I know, like personally, I have a situation that happened to me where men, the dude was cool. This is wild what I'm about to tell you, bro. So we cool. Alright. Now he don't got no whip or nothing. Alright, I take him, pick him up. We're both in barber school. So pick him up for barber school, take him home after barber school. If I'm getting something to eat, I'm gonna get him something to eat.
Real shit.
I'm saying when we getting something to eat, I'm not pulling up in the drive-thru, making my order, letting him order, and looking for him to give me. No. We order what you want, bro. Boom. That's what it was. And that was our regular routine. We went to school 5 days a week. Now, of course, everybody know I got a slick mouth, but I'm a responder. You say something to me, my response is what you don't like. So that's what I do. I'm regular, you know. That's just how I am. So in that, I never even thought this whole time that he felt like I'm stunting on him. I'm stunting on him because I'm picking him up. I'm stunting on him.
But check this out, though. I don't even want to interrupt you there. That's why I always tell people, no good deed goes unpunished. Sometimes you gotta let people go through their struggle and leave their ass
right where they at.
Do not be always extending your hand out to help somebody. I know it sounds like a great thing to help people, but people that help people sometimes get hurt. People that help people sometimes get killed. People that help people get stabbed in the back. So be wise with whom you help, because helping everyone is not gonna help you. It's just not. It ain't no way around it. Like, I already know people hate you for helping, boy.
You speaking volumes for real. You speaking to me because that's all I am. I think I was born and created to be helpful. And no lie, I have been a lot of, personally, we know each other personally, so you know I've been involved into some situations where through my help, I'm the person that lost. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one that took the L. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one, You know what I'm saying? I had to
and
fix
guess what?
it.
Let me ask you this though. And how do you constantly rebuild yourself from those travesties, I would say? Because me personally, I can't handle things like that because people will really think that I'm tripping. Like, no, because I would really tell you about yourself every second that I got an opportunity to
do it. Yeah. So for me, how I done it or how I continue to do it is I'm at peace at what I do. The place I do things from is a real organic place. So I'm not emotionally connected to the things I do for people. If I do something and the response or how you act isn't reciprocated, I don't feel mad or upset or slighted. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? But like when certain stuff done, I'm not even like, how could you do that to me? Like I don't think like that. In my mind, it's like, dang, you that messed up, you'll do that? That's wild. And it's just that. So then I go into the next situation. But I'm just created where if I still see that person down and out, and if I got it, I still can't help but to look out. I still can't help. You know what I'm saying? So what I learned to do, because I done lost a lot doing that, what I learned to do is separate myself. So now I'm not a part of none of the situations. So I don't know if I'm gonna do anything about it. The less I know is better for me. The more I know, I'm more connected to doing something about it or trying to figure out something about it. I don't mind being in the mud with my people. I'm never ever ducking the smoke when it comes to the groundwork that needs to be done or the pull up that needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? You can call on me. I'm available. If I'm available, I'm available. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I kind of do it. I just don't put too much stock in it. I do it from the heart. Once I do it from the heart, I let that be what it is. If the results show me otherwise, then now I just have to adjust what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But I'm definitely not mad. Like dude, once I found out how dude really felt, like he really felt like this. You know what I'm saying? And he called himself trying to check me and end up getting checked. Because he didn't tie the two together. He didn't tie that you talking to another man. You know what I'm saying? He felt some type of way because of his own understanding. And luckily, I'm huge on communicating. So when he first came at me, yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm defensive until I realize, you know what? You dealing with something and you don't even know what you're talking about. This is actually what happened. The same situation, the same scenario. And that's what I mean about perspective. I have so many situations in my life where I realize that, especially amongst men, we lose each other because of our perspectives and the lack of value in us wanting to figure out how to communicate with one another. Because we can still communicate and not be cool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
See what I'm saying? We can have a disagreement, understand that it is a disagreement, and still either be cool or not cool. You know what I'm saying? That's
a choice.
It's just a choice. We just don't take the time to do it a lot of times. We just think what we want to think. It'll kick off, and it is what it is. And it's like, nah, man, forget that dude, man. I ain't messing with dude. You know what I'm saying? When really, you cannot mess with him, but have some type of communication where it's understood actually what took place. I used to tell dudes this. If you hate me for the real reason, though.
Yeah.
If you don't mess with me for, like, really
That's
have...
something you made up in your head.
Yeah, don't do it, because I think that's wild to do. Like, you just hate somebody just because, or you don't want to mess with somebody just because I can be useful and you can be useful. That's what I'm saying. Because that's the whole thing about relationships or friendships or brotherhoods, right? The biggest thing is supposed to be a barter and trade system. What can you do for me? What can I do for you? How can I be there for you?
We're supposed to use each other.
We're supposed to use each other.
People don't realize using is not a bad thing.
Come on, man.
You know, manipulating you to do something that I want you to do that's good is not a bad thing either.
It's your intent with what you're doing, bro. Like, and I'm intentional. Like, if I call on somebody, I'm not a person that do a whole lot of calling when I'm in need for people. I don't do that. Nah. I just handle it how I handle it. But what I also do is make sure that I'm available for my people. You know what I'm saying? And I think that in a lot of friendships and brotherhoods, I think that people get tired of being available for people, how they feel like they are available. And sometimes I just don't feel like people know what being available for your people really is.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We know plenty of people together. We know some of the same people. And in some of the same people, we know that who's gonna show up, who's not gonna show up.
You know.
Who gonna do this, who ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if they say it with their word, you already know they locked in. Like, so.
You know what I'm saying?
And like, I can tell any man, in having a relationship with another man or a brother or whatever you want it to be, if you have a disagreement with that man, you should not speak on it until you speak with that man. Don't go getting somebody's perspective that was not in the room, or don't even get somebody's perspective that's in the room. Because guess what? You have to ask him what he meant.
Go talk to that person. Talk to that person first.
Don't go and try to have a conversation with another man and be like, oh man, what you think he... Nah, it ain't about what he think. You need to go talk to that man if you felt the way about that. Like, it's so important to be able to sit down and have a conversation. Like, you know, see, dealing with other males, it get tricky because, like I say, it can always be a threat of violence. Always. It's always a threat of violence when you're dealing with another man. Especially when you get into an argument. So it could be a life or death situation. So this is nature. See, this is nature that we all live in. Like, and people like to look at the animals like they just stupid. Nah, see, you don't gotta tell a donkey how to be a donkey. You don't gotta tell a lion how to be a lion. He gonna wake up and be that. So if you wanna be a good person, you know what to do. And you know what not to do to somebody, because you know what you don't want done to you. So if you moving around, doing things to people, and thinking everything cool, and like you ain't gonna feel nothing, you gonna feel it. It's gonna eventually get you. Like, that's just how this world works. Like, it's nature. It's the wild. It's the wild. So when you conduct yourself around men and you want to call yourself feeling a way about another man, you really should say what you need to say to that man. Like, it don't necessarily got to be vulgar or aggressive, but like, if you having a dispute, you can sit down and talk it out. It ain't nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that, man. We got other things going on besides sitting up being mad at somebody all day.
True.
You can take your energy and do something else.
I think that I think there's a difference on how men deal with one another depending on how they were raised too. I think like if you got a dude that was raised with majority of women, I think he handled things differently than a dude that was raised around more men.
He definitely does.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying this is an absolute statement, but I'm saying for the majority.
It depends.
Yeah, for the majority. Yeah. I think it's a larger percentage of individuals when they are raised in a certain environment, like all women or majority of women, and not have enough male influence that changes how he deal with people.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that has to be added in when dealing with you. You need some history on people, man.
You definitely do. You gotta do the car factor.
you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds crazy, but back in the day, they didn't have to do so much of what we have to do now because the families were so tightly knitted and worked with. Families worked with the whole family for years. So if you're a Jones and you're a Jackson, the Jones family has a history of being around the Jackson family.
They know
the kids been going to school together, been doing this together. The dads been working with each other. So you didn't have to do so much digging because you grew up with these people more oftentimes than not, as far as the people that surround you. Now the world is so saturated with one another where you don't really have the history of these people right then and there. No. So you really do got to put the work in and understand, like, man, where you from? Like, boom, you from Alabama. Your language different from my language. I'm from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? How you talking, how you look at things. Like when I first came down here, they was saying, like, stick man, you my stick man. I felt like that was offensive. I thought that, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know you were saying something like I'm cool or you cool with me or we alright. You know what I'm saying? You my stick man, you my stick man. Sound wild. You know what I'm saying? But as time progressed and I was around dudes that I got kind of cool, I understood that was a language. And that's what I'm going into is just as friends, we have to understand one another's languages. In relationships, they talk about love languages. Of course, I'm never titling that when you're talking about man and another man, but what I'm trying to describe is there's languages that men talk, irregardless of where you're from.
Yeah.
There's a language that men have with one another.
And a lot of times it don't even got to be said. It's when you walk into the room. It ain't even got to be said. Like,
to a certain magnitude,
males automatically, it's something in our nature, just like women, they automatically sense out the favorable ones in the room. They know who's in the room. People just can tell. Like, and you don't even gotta always say it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just intuition. You feel it. You can tell from somebody's confidence, how they walk, how they talk. Now, sometimes it could be a scam. Because, you know, we all in camouflage. You know, that's nature's deadliest trick. But for the most part, it's just already known. It's just an intuition inside of us that you just know. Like, I can meet some dudes, I'll be like, I can be one dude. I can be like, boy, Buddy cool. Like, I rock with Buddy. I've been watching him from a distance. I see how he move. I like Buddy. Buddy cool though. Like, man, I think I might can hang out with Buddy.
Right.
Then you hang out with him. You like, oh damn, Buddy cool. Like, all right. Then eventually the relationship begins to grow, and now you like Buddy might tell you something that he vulnerable with.
That for sure.
Like, you know, now he done told you something vulnerable, and you done watch this man cry in front of you or tell you something that you know that's sacred. Now, what you do with it is only going to build a relationship or destroy the relationship. And a lot of people get, you know, they like to call it pillow talking or messy, but a lot of people destroy the relationship because they so quick to run their mouth and tell somebody something.
They do be quick to tell your business.
Cause they like to see people like misery, man.
Man, hey, that misery love company.
That shit sell.
Man, they gotta say, they say hurt people, man.
It's true.
It's true.
Cause I was hurt before hurting people.
Man,
I'm telling you.
So I can't agree to that. Like for me, I just don't I never was that. You know what I'm saying? And not saying I ain't never.
It ain't even that I was intentionally hurting people. I'm hurting people on the level that I don't even know I'm hurting people. Like,
see, that's what my experience is.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's not like I'm coming in saying, all right, I'm finna come hurt you. It's just over time, I did something to people that I don't even realize that I was really like that to them.
So,
I was wrong. Like, you know, I was wrong.
Absolutely.
I was wrong. You
Absolutely. Know? And that's big. See, that's big. For you to be a male and take responsibility like that and say, hey, listen, you know what, I was wrong for that. We ain't got a lot of men walking around doing that. You know, the people that I know, it has increased now, you know, with the amount of men that I have around me that's willing to do that. But I think I think like minds end up around each other.
They do.
You know, so
because
I think it's weeded out.
Else do that, man. You're gonna. It makes it easier for you to be like, well, dang, like he being honest, like he really telling me, like I did wrong, I did you wrong, I was wrong, bro. Like I shouldn't have said that. Like I know we might not be the same, but
and I wasn't even given that. Like how I was raised and things that go around, especially the way men dealt with men where I'm from. Man, ain't nobody doing none of that. It is what it is. You take what you know. What happened is what happened. It don't matter.
You know. The first experience I've ever had that I had to do something like that was with my brother. It was like, we got to the age, I want to say I might have been 26, 25, some shit like that. And he was like 22. So we going back and forth, you know, we get into this all out little, what's the name? Now, mind you, I think I let him wear my shirt. And I might have let him wear some shoes or something. So this thing, he took them off. He took them off, he talking crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? We arguing. But wait, we ain't fighting nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? My old lady had called my mom and shit. She on our ass and shit. Like, you know. So, and I'll never forget how I felt when we got into that. Like, the emotions got really high. But when it was over and the argument was over, it was like, dang, like, I want to go back and talk to my brother. Like, why? Like, so I came up to him and I was like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I ain't mean none of that like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know I love you, man. Then he starts smiling. We hug it out. Like, and every time he see me, he the type of brother, he's like, oh, come on, man, let me get a hug. Let me get a hug. And he used to always like, Mom, he won't hug me. Like, my mom was like, that's what he'll say. He's like, Mom, he won't hug me. She's like, give your brother a hug. And I'm like, man, why y'all doing all this? Like, but at the same time, though, it was a good thing because I felt so bad about getting into it with my brother that it was like, man, I gotta apologize. Man, I'm the big brother. Like, it shouldn't have even got to this.
That's how I feel. I feel like siblings. I feel like siblings mainly. I feel like siblings at some point have to recognize the importance of them being siblings.
It's important.
Because it's easy to lose focus when you're hot and when you're mad. And then it's easy for you to just stand on whatever it is that you're upset. Yeah, that
is stand on business.
Yeah,
like,
but
standing on business ain't always
but
the right
that ain't,
time.
yeah, man, this ain't the time to stand on business though.
you gotta let up on the business.
Like you gotta come up off for it, and this ain't about weakness and none of that. We talking about your blood. This is my blood. Like I'm starting to see way more value in the things that's around me, bro. So it's important to me. Like now, like it's not only it is important, but it is also like heavy on my heart and on my head for me to be the best sibling I can for my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like that's so important to me. You know, where when I was younger, it wasn't so much like that, and I didn't know that. You ask me, I love my brothers, they're my dudes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I do anything for my brothers. But then we get into it. Nah, I ain't messing with them dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's how I used to be when I was young, and I was a little retarded. I was a little crazy. I was crazy, right? What I mean, I was crazy. Like I'll hold a grudge. I can hold a grudge for 20 years, 25 years. You know that. You get one shot, it's like I never knew you. That's how it was.
And then talk to us for the whole day.
Bro, y'all had me hot.
That boy came in there with the headphones and a notepad. I said, what you writing a notepad? He got a hit. Hey, man.
This had me hot. But I learned, man, my wife, I can't lie, I gotta give kudos to my wife. My wife helped me learn a lot of things about myself, and when I began to learn those things about me, then I began to do something about those things. And now I don't mind making sure it is clear about my intentions when it comes to the friendships I have, the family ships I have. You know, I don't mind at all for it to be clear, to know like, hey, listen, we did bump heads, but listen, I know I said some stuff, you said some stuff, that is what it is. I'm not tripping about none of that. You know what I'm saying? But I do love you. You know what I'm saying? You my peoples, or that doesn't change anything. See, I didn't know how to come back from that. I never was taught how to come back when you feel some type of way. All I knew is that it said in there, that's what it is.
Burn it down.
Yeah, whatever. What
ain't meant to be burnt. See, see, relationships, like I say, and a lot of times they ain't even really friendships. I just like to call them relationships. Relationships and how you move in your relationships mean so much. Like, I watch some dudes, they treat their homeboys better than they treat their old ladies.
What?
I watch some dudes treat others better than they treat others. Like, you know, they just pick and choose and how they want to do it. But you got to be mindful that one day you may need that person that you call yourself burning up. That one person might be the key to making that life situation easy. But if you keep burning bridges, you ain't gonna have nobody. And like, I know people say they can swim, but swimming in the ocean is really hard. Most people don't make it. Most people don't make it. I'm just letting you know.
But no, you definitely need help. You definitely need
help, man.
You definitely need some type of help or assistance. And a lot of times the people that's already in your circle are the ones that can probably help you. A lot of times, believe it or not, we don't just give time or enough effort. And not to say that there's not times where you need to cut some people out too.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There is times where, you know what, just you and that person being together just do not mesh.
Might not mesh in that time. In that season.
You know, you might have to mature, because that's what I had to do in certain times. Like, there was a period of time where one of my brothers, we didn't have a good relationship. Once I matured, our relationship was better. Now, I can say once he matured too, I can say that, but I I would be just saying that coming from a place of not wanting to be by myself and knowing that I needed to mature. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but it's
you
no
know
me.
for a fact that you did.
I know I matured, and I know I noticed that our relationship got better when I matured. Same thing with my other brother. There was a time when him and I wasn't seeing eye to eye, and I'm talking about for a long period of time. And once I matured in that area, it made our relationship better. Now, fast forward to right now, before it even get to a certain point, because I matured so much so, I could instantly make different decisions so it won't go that far.
And that's the key.
I learned that
Like,
trick.
why you going?
We ain't got to do that.
We can just stop.
We can stop right here.
Right here, and we can talk tomorrow.
We can chop it up tomorrow. Like, man, my people get mad at me. We'll be into it. I'm like, you know what, you got it. I'm gone. Because we'll just come back to it. We'll deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Because what we're going to do? We're going to keep going.
It's as heavy as it is right now.
But we're going to go harder. So I'm going to keep trying to find more stuff to say wild to you, bro. And you my peoples. And I care about you. And I want the best for you. So I'm going to keep trying to dig and find stuff to make you feel crazy.
Which I know how to do because I've been around you.
Yeah. But then for what, though? Like, once you get done with all that, I don't really want that for you. I really don't feel like that towards you.
No.
So I don't even want to participate even
getting to
that point, me personally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather not. I would rather for us to, if we don't see eye to eye, we just don't see eye to eye on that. That don't mean nothing. Just in that subject, we don't see eye to eye. We can leave that where that is. And I think that others can pick up on that. If anybody, you know, we know plenty of people that you see them cool today, next week they not cool. Next month they not cool. Mm-hmm. What's up with little buddy? What, you don't even know. What little buddy? You know with dude? Man, I don't mess with dude. Woo. Whatever he say, you know what I'm saying? He giving you the not the information of what happened, but just letting you know how they fell out. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll see the other dude. I know this happened to me. It happens to me quite often. You'll see the other dude acting just like him. But both of them got things that they both need from one another. And you know both of them. So I'm just saying, I've been in that situation, just to go back to what you're saying. Like, you don't even know. You may need that person. You over spending all this time into it when y'all could have been building, creating something.
It just be like that sometimes.
And that's what I mean, like, through brotherhood, we need to start utilizing our relationships better than what we do. Because there's tools that you have, tools that I have, that if we use one another, we can build more. We need to get back to that. It ain't got to be nothing else. Like this right here, this is a building moment. The tools that you have right now is your testimony. That's what your tool is right now, is your testimony. And in your testimony, there's going to be somebody that hear this podcast that's going to identify with some of the things that you said. And then they can change how they deal with some of the relationships that they had. Or, you know, at least have more options to kind of have at their disposal when they dealing with other people, or you know what I'm saying, whatever relationships that they got, you know. And that's the whole point. We got to make sure that we build these relationships that we already have, make sure they're strong, make sure we utilize them, make sure we do what we're supposed to with them, you know what I'm saying, so we can build and grow stronger, smarter, faster, you know what I'm saying, all of these things. CJ was on the podcast last episode, right? He had just left this event called Invest Fest. And like something just like that, I wanted to go to Invest Fest, right? I had already been privy to that information. It's by these group. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure too. Earn Your Leisure dope. If you don't know about Earn Your Leisure, you might want to check it out. Super, super dope. Have you heard of Earn Your Leisure? When you get a chance, check out Earn Your Leisure, man. It's a lot of jewels. Young brothers basically giving the game to financial literacy. That's basically what it is. But they have an event in Atlanta every year called, what is it called? It's called, hey Chris, what's the name of the event? It's called
Invest Fest.
Yeah, in Invest Fest. That's what it is. It's called Invest Fest. That's the name of the event. They have it once a year in Atlanta. This past year was one of the biggest events that they've ever had, right? He just came from there. So I'm just saying, with what I'm trying to do, especially with the men that I know, knowing that he can provide me with way more information than what I would have had before I went. Now that's not to say I couldn't just go and get my own information. Yeah. I'm just saying if I fell out with him, I wouldn't even have front row access.
He wouldn't tell you, man.
To the information. So something just that simple. I'm saying we got to be mindful. You use that term, and I like that you used it. We have to be mindful of what we're doing. We have to be intentional of what we're doing. We got friends, and in whatever relationships that we have, we got to be mindful and intentional about what we're doing.
You definitely have to be delicate with people. Like, it's a lot of things that I have to let pass sometimes. It's like, that's not worth that. Like, it's just not worth it sometimes to even get into it with somebody. It's just not. It's not worth the time or the energy.
Especially like now, like at our age now, I'm trying to do other things, bro. I want to do some other stuff.
Stressed out beefing with you, man. Like, it's too, like, nah. It's too.
You got daughters, you got goals, you got dreams. I'm over here arguing with you
with another man. That's like I don't sit up and argue with other men about basketball and stuff no more. I find that wasteful. I find it like, what I look like sitting up arguing about what another man did all day.
But you remember they used to look crazy at me when we was in the shop because of my outlook on sports and all that other stuff. I say, bro, I hear y'all in the sports. I'm not really in the sports, and the reason why I'm not in the sports is because I got my own goals. I got my own dreams. I'm watching these dudes live out their dreams. A lot of them, when you watching them playing basketball, playing football, and all that,
they're living their dreams.
They was young, thinking about they wanted to be in the league, and look where they at. They're in the league. So all that, remember, I'm not hating on them. But I'm so proud of them. I'm glad that they was able to live out. But all I'm reminded of is how I am not living my dream yet. You know what I'm saying? So instead of watching these dudes, I need to be trying to figure out how can I get closer to my dream because they not watching me.
No, you watching them.
No, I'm watching them. So it's a turnoff for me to watch people live their dream, and I'm still trying to find a way to get to mine. Now, once I reach my dream, then I probably will watch them because now it's dreamers living in their truth and their reality. So I don't mind, you know what I'm saying? But until then, it's just not. It never was really that appealing to me.
I just watched so many fallouts happen over there too.
Yeah.
I watched so many.
Yeah.
So many people stopped talking to each other
because sports.
Arguing over sports about what another man and another team did when you weren't doing nothing. Like, imagine that, though. Like, just really sit back and just look at yourself. Like, to sit back and watch it is like, huh? And I used to do it to troll. I like to do it to troll. It made the day pass. But it never was like, I was never too indulged in it to where I didn't realize what was going on emotionally when these things happen. Because a lot of disrespect happens in those conversations. A lot of you stupid and this, that, and the third. And in front of a lot of other males that can come off very wrong. And it'll make you feel like you got to defend yourself. And that's why, like, I know a lot of us think that peer pressure does not exist when you get to a certain age. But peer pressure is always around. You'll be always pressured around your peers to do something to get you out of body.
That's true. You always around peer pressure. Ain't no ducking that.
Always.
Ain't no ducking that.
Ain't no duck. Now, you can be cool about it. I take the cool approach.
Now, or it may not even affect you as much as you thinking about it. Like, no, you ain't making me do this, but you'll be surprised.
Yeah, it'll get you out of body. I didn't get out of body.
Make you spend more money, make anything. It'll make you out of box. You'll be out of your band on something you don't even realize it. But in closing, we're gonna wrap it up because I ain't gonna hold you up too long. I just want you to give one thing or describe one thing that you feel would, how can I say it? What would be one thing that you can say that a person can take away from this podcast? If it was anything that you can possibly say, what would that one thing be as it relates to the importance of male influence or relationships with male in your life? Whether if it's a father, or uncle, or whomever, what would be one thing that you would say the most important, or why would that be important to have a male a part of your life?
I feel like it's important to have a group of males in your life, I feel like you need, if you want to call them a square, you need a square. You need the husband. You need the drug addict. You need the gambler. You need the alcoholic. You need the player. You need the pimp. You need all these different aspects of males to be able to choose and mix things. Like, being a man is not about being the toughest. It's not about being the smartest all the time. It's about being the wisest and knowing how to make the right choices when the time comes. To be able to see forward instead of seeing in the emotion and the feeling right at that moment. So all these different males, even though like a drunk will tell you something good.
Oh yeah.
A homeless man will tell you something good. Like, I ain't saying that you gotta be in direct connection with these people, but if you can have a foundation of different males that are positive to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know most people saying, well, dang, like he said a pimp or alcoholic, how those people gonna be positive? But, so you don't think negatives come with positive? Just because some has something negative going on in their life don't mean that they can't bring some positivity too. It's a balance, it's a scale. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna always be good. I try to be good, but sometimes I be bad. And I know I'm wrong, but I still did it. And guess what? I'm willing to stand on it because I did it. And I take accountability for it. So one thing I can say, taking away from this podcast, is if you can find a group of males that are respectable males and that y'all can brush off each other's shoulders and have those conversations that are difficult for you to just have with anybody, it would be a valuable thing to have. Like, I got mine now. Like, you know, I still call my dad and chop it up. I can call my brother. I got homeboys in Memphis. I got homeboys here. I got homeboys almost all over the world because of the Navy. So sometimes if I am tripping, like, I pretty much got my core values and morals intact. So I really don't have to, you know, they kind of been knowing me. I always been kind of level-headed. Like, you know, so it's just that I know that having those male figures in your life, multiple male figures, like, I had a preacher in mind. My uncle was a preacher. He took us to Six Flags every summer. Every summer. But you know, it's so crazy. Like, he took me to Braves games, all that type stuff. Like, and just sitting back thinking about that stuff. Like, my dad was at work. Like, sometimes my dad lived in the house, but sometimes my dad didn't come to the football game though, because he might have to work. But you know, I never felt like, dang, my dad ain't come. Sometimes I tell my mom, you ain't gotta come. I probably ain't even getting in this time. Like, he hating on me. Like, you know, but whatever. Like, you know, it's just, but she was there. She showed up. Like, and I ain't never knocked my dad for not being there, because guess what? Sometimes my uncle be there. Sometimes this person there. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you can't just build a hatred for someone because sometimes they didn't show up for you. Like, I know a lot of males that's my age that still cry about their daddy not being in their life and they 40-something years old. I want you to think about how deep of a cut that got to be in somebody to know. And then to watch your daddy grow up, watch you grow up, and he wasn't there for you. But then he had some younger kids. But now he didn't grow into a stage of where he a better man and a stronger man. But now you got to watch him raise them and do things that he didn't do for you. And you're still going to feel away. So that's why I know that, hey, I was blessed. Like, you know, I was really blessed to have a father that was there every day, and for him to have brothers that were solid individuals. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, real solid. Like, I can't speak on my daddy, but now on my mama's side, different types of males, 2 different types of males. Like, one of my uncles, like, you know, so I used to look up to him, and this is where all the roguish bad stuff came from when I was young, because I was looking at him. I wanted to do what he did. I thought what he did was cool. He teaching me how to throw gang signs and doing all that. I think that's cool. I think my daddy lame. Oh, my daddy lame. He ain't on what they on. Oh, my dad don't be doing that. Me not even knowing, man, my daddy been on all that. When I got older, I'm like, but damn, he ain't never showed me that.
Yeah, he polished up.
He polished up for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he cleaned it up. Like, you know, so seeing him do that and me thinking that he Lane that whole time, and now my mom died, and I get to see a different side of my dad. See, this is another side of my father that I get to see now because my mother's not here.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to see women be on my dad, and I'm thinking to myself, my dad ain't getting no hoe. Like, I ain't, but I'm watching, I'm like, damn, I'm like, oh, this what my mama was talking about. This what she was saying. I couldn't see it then, but I get to see it now, and it's a beautiful thing to see, like, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, so this is where I get this shit from for real. Like, I'm watching it. Like, oh, okay. You know, and at first I ain't seeing him like that. But now he get to see me as a man. I see him as a man. Just not as my daddy. Not as my father. I get to see him
as a man.
He didn't even show me. I ain't get to see nothing. See, some of these dudes got to see their daddy do whatever in front of them. Man, I ain't had no drink with my dad until I was, 38, 30. Like, we ain't sit at a bar and have a drink until I was like 38. Like, I ain't never sit up and just drunk or seen my dad at no club hanging out with me. Like, I done been around him and his partners and stuff, but I ain't never just sitting around and I just started kind of doing that. Mm-hmm. And it's cool, though, because now they be like, oh, you remember when you did this? You remember when you did this? Da-da-da-da. Remember you told your mom I had you around them nigga women? And I'm like, oh, I was 8. I wasn't supposed to see it. But my daddy mad too, though, because he like, why you doing that?
My son, yeah.
But guess what, though? My uncle needed to do that, though.
Yeah. That came with a lesson in itself.
It came with a lesson in itself, too. Even though they were mad at him, he gave me a bill. He needed to do that, too. Mm-hmm. And it sounded like, oh, what the hell? Nah, I need to see that. That's hence why I like
that's what helped shape. Yeah, that's what helped shape.
It helped shape me.
Yeah, shape you. And that's what we got to be. That's what we got to make sure we remember too. Is yes, the things we experience help shape us. Just that simple, you know.
That simple.
But yeah, here we go. This is the Jones Podcast, episode 3. We just covered everything dealing with friendships, brotherhood. We touched on some things about the emotional connection that we have with our mother and how we deal with that moving forward day to day. What I want to add to what he just said before we end the show, I just want to add that take the time out. Take the time out to try to increase the bonds that you have with the guys or with the men that are around you. We are in a time where men don't have enough resources and we're not understood enough. So if we intentionally try to build up these bonds, we can be more resourceful with one another and for one another. We can grow, build more if we do that. You know, we're stronger as a unit than we are apart. I'm not saying you're not strong when you're by yourself, when you're solo, but we're stronger together. There's power in numbers. Let's try to increase these numbers, man. Let's increase the numbers that we have far as men go with one another. Like, let's increase those bonds so we can just obtain so much more. It's a lot of powerful things happening out here, and to combat it, we're going to need to increase the numbers. So let's do that. You know what I'm saying? I encourage you guys to do that. I promise I'm going to do that. I know my community of the people that surround me are going to do that. So we all going to play our part. Till next time, peace.